Welcome to Bleav in the Dallas Cowboys. I am one of your hosts, Jeff Cavanaugh, alongside my dear friend, former Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
You, at least on my screen, you're blurry, but they may not be. It may not be that way to the viewer. It could be the Wi-Fi sucks. So that's how I'm seeing things.
I look clear on my Wi-Fi, but would be.
Do you look good to you?
I do.
Oh, well then we'll see what happens. Let's see if I do that. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're of course presented by our friends at Bet Online, your number one source for all your championship finals info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and lines, latest matchup reports for this year's NBA finals. Bet Online is your sports intel headquarters. Stanley Cup finals too. Got you covered for all your insider sports wagering needs, from basketball and hockey to MLB, UFC, boxing. Fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Live betting options, favorite casino and card games. Get in the action today. Head to the website or use your mobile device to join, and be sure to use our promo code Bleav, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your 50% bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Today's news is that the Minnesota Vikings have released Dalvin Cook, baby. Are you ready, Jesse? Get Dalvin in here, pair him up with Pollard, win the Super Bowl.
No. And I'm not even like you, who hate running backs. Like I'm not in that. You hate running backs. You
I'm
absolutely
offended.
hate running backs.
I'm offended.
You can be offended all you want. It is the absolute truth.
I hate poor decision making.
At the running back position.
Well, yeah, because paying a running back is a terrible idea. I love running backs. They're so fun. Tony Pollard's great. Don't give him a long-term contract.
Well, he's one of the highest paid running backs right now in the league at $10 million. So
yeah, which is why everybody who wants Dalvin Cook is really confusing me. The league is telling you what happens at running back. You carry the ball for a while, you get to about 27 years old, and you start to fall off, and that's the way it goes. The Vikings won 13 games last year, and they just cut Dalvin Cook because they didn't want to pay him $11 million. Every running back who's gotten a big extension, people are trying to trade him or cut him before it's over. You don't want Dalvin Cook. Don't worry about it, guys. He's going to go to Miami, and hopefully he plays well. Maybe he's still got a good year left. He might still have a good one left. He might not. I don't want any part of it. If Dalvin Cook wants to play for the league minimum because he just loves the Cowboys, sure. But if you're talking about competitively bidding on Dalvin Cook, no. Give the ball to Deuce Vaughn. Give the ball to Malik Davis. Give the ball to Rico Dowdle, Ronald Jones. It don't matter. They're fine. Cowboys are already better than they were last year at running back. I ain't worried about running back in any way, shape, or form. You're good. Deuce Vaughn is the future. Give it to the tiny guy. Tiny guys are hard to tackle. I don't want the guy who's on the cusp of washed up. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. There's a reason he got cut, because they didn't want to pay him $11 million. I don't want to pay him $5 million. He's a running back, and I already have a better one. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I love running backs. I love them. I love them when they're 23. A rookie deal.
I think the Cowboys have already made their declaration that they're with their signing of Cooks and Gilmore. We've met our old person quota.
Yeah.
We've met our veteran quota on guys who are kind of past their prime or who have just a little bit left on the tail end of their prime. I think Steven have come out and kind of vehemently, said those type of things without actually saying those type of things. You know how Jerry goes, like, I'm monitoring, but not monitoring, but monitoring. Like, it's like one of those type of things that they do. So I doubt that Dalvin Cook comes to the Cowboys, but again, it's the Cowboy way, right? Anytime a player of any notable name gets released, it doesn't matter the position. It literally doesn't matter the position. If the name is notable enough, Cowboy fans are like, oh, come on, Jerry, do your thing. Steven, do your thing. And Will McClay, do your thing. And I'm with you. I don't hate running backs, but I would hate this decision. I would hate this decision if they wasted money, time, energy, effort, room, space, locker, seat, jersey, whatever, on bringing Dalvin Cook to Dallas. I'm not saying that he's not a good player. I'm not saying that he doesn't, he doesn't have value left in him. I just don't think it's necessary here. I just don't think it's necessary here for the Dallas Cowboys. And I know that we want to load up we want to mount up and have all the names and numbers and all the everything on our roster. But this is one of those deals where you're not even going to have enough carries for a guy like Dalvin Cook and for a guy like Deuce Vaughn and for a guy like Tony. There's not enough carries. There's not enough carries in and I think Dalvin, while he still has some home run ability, as they get older, these guys become more of a volume runner. They're not like when they were younger where they can hit it and quit it in 10 carries. These guys at times need a little bit more of to tote the rock to kind of get their feeling and their feet wet in the football game. So I'm with you. I like who we have. I like our guys.
That's a very Cowboy line. We like our guys. So I'm calling this edition of Bleav in the Cowboys Cooks, and the Cook. Okay. Because the only thing out of minicamp that I've noticed or saw that I cared about even a little bit is, I guess, how the offensive line lines up and all that. But you're not going to get a ton on like, man, this player's playing well. But seeing and hearing people talking about Brandin Cooks, I love, because that is a dude that I love that they added Brandin Cooks. I think that is so big for CD Lamb. So on day 2 of the ones being out there and him winning down the seam and just running past people for bomb skis, that's got me excited because I love what that's going to mean for CD Lamb. That you're not going to go into weeks where, look, you're still going to be the primary that we're worried about, but you can't just look at the Cowboys offense and go, all right, well, they got CD. Man coverage everywhere else, and we're good there too. Not just man coverage, we're good. Brandin Cooks is still going to give people problems, and it's going to be lovely for CD. You excited for? We're not excited for Cook. I am excited for Cooks.
Yeah, with Dalvin Cooks, and now people are going to say, you guys are biased. 2 former wide receivers. Of course. You hate the running back and you love the wide receiver. Whatever. But the thing, I think more than what you're talking about, I've heard a lot of people say the speed is still there. He still can run fast, and that's great. I love Dalvin Cooks. Dalvin Skirvin. I don't love Dalvin Cooks. I don't love Dalvin Cooks.
We love Brandon.
Brandin Cooks. I love him for his knowledge. Yes, he's a walking 1,000-yard receiver everywhere he goes. I just, when you hear him speak, when you hear other people speak about him, his ability to go out and help teach the game. We touched on a little bit last week, was just his ability to be in so many different offenses, and especially the West Coast offense is very similar to what they ran in New England, and being able to pick that up and being able to have success in that, to me, is going to pay dividends, yes, for CD Lamb, but yes, for Michael Gallup, and yes, for Jalen Tolbert, and yes, for any other receiver that is on the roster. He's going to be that vet that can show you, when we say the term of being a professional, he can show you how to practice, show you how to take care of your body, he can show you how to study, he can show you how to stay focused, like all those things that you hear about Brandin Cooks. That's what I'm more excited about, because this team, it's going to be led by the receivers. Like, it's going to be led by the pass catchers. If this thing is going to kind of really get us to where we want to get to, Dak's going to have to have a 5,000+ yard season, get away from the turnovers, right? More touchdowns are always appreciated in the mix of being a quarterback. And that's the part that excites me more about Brandin Cooks than the actual on the field stuff. Yes, he can still play, but it's the knowledge that he's going to be able to, even the Dak, he's going to be able to get in the huddle and be like, yo, listen. They're going to run this coverage. Here's the honey hole right here. Or whatever that sideline conversation is. I think he's going to be a great addition to just the brain frame and the brain trust of Dak and even, with Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy, being able to have that veteran guy who's been in multiple situations, being around multiple Hall of Fame quarterbacks, having success everywhere he went, and now being able to come here and impart that wisdom to all that will listen to him. That's the part, to me, that gets me most excited about what he's going to be able to bring to this locker room.
There's one other thing he can teach everybody too, which is how to get out of a lot of different cities you don't want to be in. Or even if you do. I guarantee you, he has great tips for moving and packing. He's got a lot.
Does, yeah.
My man has moved around a lot.
If anybody's looking for moving in the DFW area, Hyphen Moving Company is where you want to go. They'll ship your cars, they'll pack up your house. Denise Johnson, she'll have you ready to go. Hyphen is where you want to be.
So that was Cook and Cooks. So Cooks, and the Cook. The Cook is, I heard the Mike McCarthy audio from yesterday, which I really enjoyed part of it, which was talking about the offense they're going to run. And Dak talked about the offense they're going to run, which he's calling the Texas Coast. It's West Coast, but also some of their old offense. It's basically what the quarterback likes, which I love that. I think once you are 3, 4, 5 years in the league and it's been established that you're a second contract quarterback and you're one of those guys that a team is like, we've got our quarterback and we're not in the market for one, it should be your offense. You should be running what you want when you want, because you should have the best feel for what you should be running because you're out there doing it. I liked that. But at one point in a Mike McCarthy answer, he did slide in this is the first year we're going to get to play football the way we want to play it. So he had to sneak in a shot at Kellen. And all I'm going to say is the Cowboys have had a better offense than the Chargers every year. It better be true this year. Or Mikey, my guy. Freaky Mike is Jesse's guy. He's my guy too. I love Mike McCarthy. I think his attitude is cool. I think his swag is cool. I think he'll actually talk football with you at the podium. I think the team has responded to him and they adopted his personality, which is usually good, except when he's bitching about refs, because then suddenly Dak becomes a bitch about the refs guy. But I like Mike McCarthy. Boy, this offense better be cooking or we're going to hear about it.
The most, I guess, the term that is used the most that at times gets the most negative connotation attached to it when you hear people say, oh, yeah, being quarterback friendly. Oh, yeah, being quarterback friendly. Oh, yeah, being quarterback friendly. You should be quarterback friendly. When you're playing, when your quarterback is the highest paid player on your roster, and honestly is the most important player on your roster, everything, and I do mean everything that you do should be centered and based around, does this guy like this? Does this guy work well in this? Can this guy operate in this? Can this guy complete passes in this? Is this something that this guy feels truly comfortable in? So when you hear Mike McCarthy talk about things and keeping that old language and Dak calling it the Texas Coast offense now, yeah, this is being quarterback friendly. Getting your quarterback weapons is being quarterback friendly. Getting coming to your quarterback and say, hey, what are the plays that you actually like to run? What are the throws that you're comfortably throwing in? Because anytime you have a guy at that position where he has to think in nanoseconds in a game, I want you at your optimal comfortability. I don't want you out there thinking, can I make that throw? It's not really one of my best throws. Now, there are times in the games that you're going to have to sometimes throw a pass that may not be your best attribute on that particular pass. But for the most part, you want to put things in the offense of where that quarterback is very, very comfortable, that he likes, that he has a rhythm through, he has a flow through, that the receivers and he are on the same page with. That's being quarterback friendly. That's not a negative connotation. That's actually using the thing that's between your ears that gives you the information that you need to be successful. Using your brain, being quarterback friendly. And so for that, I love it. I love it. Freaky Mike, is it me or you're seeing more? Maybe because now he's kind of totally running the show, but there's a different attitude about Freaky Mike. Like he's talking more freely. He's more comfortable. Like he's feeling like I'm back in my groove again. Like
he's cocky.
You said what?
He's cocky.
Yeah, like he has that cocky confidence to him right now. It's like, and I'm not answering to anybody else. This is all coming. This is all me now. This is all me. And you're right. We better have a better offense than San Diego and a better record than San Diego.
Yep. Only other thing from minicamp that I want to mention is just it's a campaign I've been on. Everybody has the guy that they're waiting for him to get good and make an impact, and I've had one for years now. Last year at training camp, Jabril Cox, linebacker, he was good. Preseason, he was good. And then they got in the real season, and when people got hurt, they brought in what's his butt, other LSU guys straight off of Damone Clark, straight off of spinal fusion, and he was the dude getting snaps. And I'm like, is there something behind the scenes I don't know about Jabril Cox that I don't know, because camp was good. Preseason was good. I liked him coming out of college, can cover his ass off, got better at run defense. And I was like, that's a dude. He could be a dude. And he can't get on the field. Well, they had a little red zone deal, and on third down, he broke up a pass, and the defense was like, yeah, it's going to be 4th and 2 because of you, Jabril Cox, you're the man. And then on 4th and 2, he batted down another pass, and the defense won. And I'm just like, he just keeps showing up in all of these things, and nobody has put him on the field. They put a rookie 5th rounder who just got a new spine in over him, and I never understood it. And who knows? I don't know who's going to end up at the top of the linebacker. Is Overshown going to immediately jump both of those guys? I don't know. But every time I see that Jabril Cox did something good, I'm like, okay, here we go. My guy's ready to get cooking. There we go. We're going. Let's go. Me and you, Jabril. Let's go.
Jabril is the defensive equivalent of what Jalen Tolbert was.
You back off.
That's why I couldn't get on the field. It's easy when it's underwear Olympics. It's easy when it's vanilla. It's easy when there's things put into context and guys are actually now ISOing you and finding you on the football field, and now you have to go out there and actually, figure things out on the run. Because all the athleticism is there. We saw it at LSU. You saw it in practice. It's like, man, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's talented. But what happens? Why is he getting on the football field? Said the same thing about Jalen Tolbert. Man, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, athletic. Why is he getting on the football field? And then you go, oh, you lined up off sides and you looked at the ball for 6 seconds and you did not move back. And like that and you haven't seen the field all season long. But that's, like when you're especially playing that linebacker position, you have to be able to read and react. And that's the part of it, is seeing it, thinking it, and then reacting to it. And it kind of almost has to be simultaneously. Like you have to honestly diagnose it before the play even starts. And a lot of times educationally, having the educated guess correctly and then moving while you're doing that. That was Sean Lee was great about. Sean Lee wasn't the most athletic dude in the world. Like Sean Lee didn't measure out all his numbers jump off the chart. No, where he was at was good up here. I think that's the same thing with Jabril Cox, is once he figures out what it is that he, needs to do in the mental side of things, that is 75 to 80% of the battle for young players. It's maybe even more than that. It's knowing what to do, then going out there to do it. Because again, you don't get to this league, you don't get to this level if you can't run, jump, move, and have athleticism. It just doesn't happen. It's now, all right, when I put you in a complex scheme, can you line up and know what the hell that we're doing? When Leighton Vander Esch now makes a check, what do? Right? When the check comes, when a quarterback goes, when the quarterback starts doing this at you, and now there's a check that comes, and you go, all right, what do we have next? That's too late now. So that's the thing about him. But I agree. I do want to see him on the football field because of all that talent that he does have. I want to see that, flying around on the football field on Sunday.
And you mentioned Jalen Tolbert. That's another guy that's seemingly getting universal praise. So that's a guy I haven't given up on. You're not going to talk me into the Fehoko hype train, but if you want to talk me into the year 2, Tolbert could be a guy who's your 4th guy and can contribute, I think I could buy that one. Thank you for everyone for joining us for this edition of Cook, the Cook, and Cox on Bleav in the Dallas Cowboys, presented by
Cox.
Well, yeah, we threw in the Cox at the end. So Cooks, Cook, the Cook, and Cox. Thanks for stopping by.
You got to say pause when you say that. That's what young people say. Yeah.
That's Jesse Holly. I'm Jeff Kavanaugh. Thank you for joining us. And remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.